Well, welcome back to a brand new video, and today I'm back with the Christmas reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing Once Upon a Time at Christmas. So Once Upon a Time at Christmas, is the film that we will be looking at today. Oh, this film is a doozy. You have a Mr. and Mrs. Claus killing. Right there, the premise sounds cool. Instead of a Instead of just one Santa Claus killer, you also get a Mrs. Claus in there, which is pretty cool. And these two killers, the Mr. and Mrs. Claus, they are like Joker and Harley. They're very much like Joker and Harley. It's like taking Joker and Harley, Tiffany and Chucky, and the Strangers characters and putting them like all in one pot. That's what this kind of very much is. Basically, of course, it's a 12 days of Christmas. Like, it starts out, I forgot what date it starts out, but it's 12 days of Christmas. And then these killers, like the Mr. and Mrs. Claus, kills a mall Santa. You find out what their motive is later on in the film. I'm not gonna spoil their motive. If you've seen the film, you know what their motive is. If you haven't seen the film, you have to figure out what their motive is yourself, obviously. Now, this is a really good film, but there's so much stuff that holds it back. Yes, I said it's a really good film. It's nothing perfect. It's nothing special. It's there. It's okay. I mean, is there rewatchability? No, no, no. There's not really any rewatchability. But this is a decent Christmas horror movie. I love Christmas horror movies, so I take what I can get, you know. And like I said, you got a Mr. and Mrs. Claus going around killing on 12 days of Christmas, and you don't follow one storyline with some other stuff mixed in. No, no, no. You follow three storylines. And they're done sloppy. They're done very sloppy. You could tell they're just three separate plot lines. They're sloppy the way they're handled is very sloppy. You got unnecessary dialogue in some scenes. And the kills. Now the kills are good, but there's one problem with the kills. This is a slasher. Use practical effects. No, they use digital effects. They use digital effects that look cheap. Looks like they paid $10 or $20 for these digital effects. That's what it looks like. I'm not joking. And when you get to like the end of the film, the effects look worse. You know, like especially like Mrs. Claus, right? Like she has a bow. When you get like a bow kill, oh my god, you can really see the digital blood. There was like this, if you've seen the film, you know what scene I'm talking about, but it's like the scene outside the drum house. And one of the victims is like in like this like weird bear trap. I've never seen a bear trap like this before. But she's stuck in a bear trap, I guess. And I don't know if it was this scene, but oh yes, it was this scene. Her friend, the girl that's in the bear trap, her friend tried to save her, right? Her friend gets shot with the arrow. This is no joke. The blood, like where the blood would come out was like that. Like the blood stain was like that big, and you could see like a 3D like effect with it. And you can tell like it was just so fake. Like even like the Jack in a Box scene, like with the Jack in a Box, you can tell that was fake fingers. I don't know much about film, but I've been studying film just from watching movies and just from watching short films and movies to know that I know how to do better effects. And to the camera, you know, I'm a sucker for good cinematography and camera angles. There's none of that in here. A lot of times they use lazy drone shots. Don't get me wrong, I love me a good drone shot. But they overuse that effect too much. And again, there's so much stuff that holds this film back. Obviously, as I'm saying, the story, the kills are good, but the effects are the problem here. That's the biggest problem for me. And two, they could have really dragged one of these scenes out. Like, one of my favorite scenes in this, well, not one of mine, it would have been one of my favorite scenes if I would have did it. So, you know the pool scene. If you've seen the movie, obviously you know what I'm talking about. But it's the pool scene, right? The girl, she's going swimming. She comes up to the pool and there's Santa Claus. Very predictable. What I would have did was have Santa, the killer Santa, come into frame, but you have a low pan shot of Santa's boots. And then a slow pan of the axe drops down to the ground. Then, like the girl, you don't focus on the girl. You focus on Santa dragging his axe. Now, you don't pan up to him. You just stay on the feet. You have a low pan shot on the feet and the axe. Maybe you have the Santa Claus doing like a little laugh. When he gets ready to kill her, do a slow pan shot up to the axe. Axes her in the head. You go from the axe head shot, pans to her in the pool. To me, that's a more of a dramatic scene to me. Like, just have like Santa, like the shot be panned to his feet, dragging the axe, and have some like sadistic Christmas music playing. That's something, you know, if that's something I really want to make, because I want to get into film as well. Like, I do multiple things. I do music, and film is one of the things I want to get into. And one of the horror movies I want to tackle is a Christmas horror movie, or maybe a short film, which is just gave me an idea, by the way. One of the things I would do is create a sinister Christmas score that will be remembered. And two, that pool scene in this could have been that to do it, but sadly it wasn't it. So we got the predictable pool scene. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. So my final thoughts on Once Upon a Time in Christmas. My final thoughts, this film gets a 7. That's how low it gets. I think, to me, the killers, like the Mr. and Mrs. Claus, they're interesting. Part of the story's interesting. And that's another, now this is a negative. The acting is all over the place. You got like a few good actors here and there, but the rest are just throwaways if they're not really that good. But at the end of the day, I get where they was trying to do it. They was trying to do like a B-movie 80s, like early 80s, like 80, 1981, 82, somewhere around that range. And maybe like late 70s. They wanted to go that route. Sadly, it didn't work. But I get what they was going with this. I would love to see a really solid writer and a really solid director take this approach. Have a Mr. and Mrs. Claus as the killers. Come on. That'd be really cool. Like a director needs to take this premise and really make something iconic out of it. Because there's something there. But this writer and this director misfired on the acting, the effects. Like, when you do a slasher, like, everything matters in a slasher. You know, even down to the way your hair looks. Yes, like, even like the tone, like, everything matters in a slasher. The kills, the effects, everything matters. And I'm sorry if you are a fan of this film, but this film, I love Christmas horror movies. But this movie, not going to watch it again. I'm definitely not going to watch it again this season. And I'm not going to watch it again next season. This is a very lame excuse for a slasher. I'll be completely honest. You know, I think it had a cool premise, a cool ideal. But the writers and the directors and the producers misfired on every cylinder. I could have did a way better job. You would have gave me this film, you know, like, if you, like for real, like, they would have added me on as, like, a producer or, like, an editor or something, yeah, like, there would have been some more cool stuff in this film. We would have went with practical effects. That's the first thing. Like, if the director told me, oh, hey, you know, we're going to just do digital effects, I'm like, you know what, shut your mouth. We're gonna do practical effects. I don't care how much it costs. I take money out of my pocket. You know what I mean? Until I would have gotten some better camera equipment. Again, not really an excuse. iPhones, they have great cameras, and there's like, you can get a good like handheld camera for a reasonable price. And I don't know what they was using to film this. I really don't know. Like, there's not an excuse for poor camera quality in a full-length film, especially in this film came out in 2017. From 2017, especially to now, right now, there's really no excuse to why you have poor camera quality. I don't get it. I don't. This film gets a 7 out of 7. I do recommend it. The only thing that has the only thing this film has going for is the Mr. and Mrs. Claus killers, the sheriff, and the deputy, and the kills. But part of the kills you don't see. Something like that. It is what it is. If you've seen this film, I really, really want to know what you think of it in the comments below. If you did enjoy one, I give you a big thumbs up. Please subscribe if you're a first-time viewer. I want to hit that notification bell. And until next time, happy holiday season to everyone that's watching. And really, let me know what you think of this film. If you haven't seen this film, let me know, do you agree with me? Because like I said, it's a good film. But whoa, it has some problems, and one of the big problems is how they handle the plot lines and how they handle the and how they handle the effects and how they do some of the camera angles. A lot of problems with this film, but I do think it's somewhat entertaining. It does have entertainment value. We'll say that much. I'm out of here. Until next time, give me a big thumbs up.